Hi, I'm Geri Solomon. I'm Hofstra University's Archivist. I'm here with Margie Miller, and we're going to talk about some of her mementos that we have here. It's from September 11th and the time period afterwards. So, Margie, I see that you have this big box of stuff, and you've kept it for all these years, and I know all of these things are important to you. And there are a lot of people who have memorabilia that, such as this, that's important to them too. So let's talk a little bit about how you're storing it in this big box.
Probably not the correct way. I have just an assortment of all kinds of things and different kinds of materials. And so I know that there's a proper way for each one, but meanwhile, it's all in the box. So I just took out some. I have books and papers and pins and DVDs.
VHS tapes and things with sticky on them, and everything as soft as a tissue to as heavy as an official piece of the steel.
Right.
Each medium, has a way about it that shouldn't probably interact with other things in certain places. All of your papers probably shouldn't be. You wouldn't put this heavy metal thing on top of them. So we want to talk about just maybe organizing the box that you have, so that if you ever decide that you want to donate it, or that even if you want to keep it and keep adding to it, you can do it in an easier way, and people will know the story from your point of view as well. Like I said, some of these things need special help when you store them. You have discs. It's always really important to make sure they're identified, and that they should be in these hard cases, because that does protect them. But something like a tape, now, do you have something to play this in?
I do now.
Like most people, the medium changes, and one of the problems is being able to play it in the future.
Okay.
So even though you have to keep transferring the medium, sometimes it's really important to do that if you want to play it again yourself. I don't know many people who have VHS players anymore, and VHS tapes themselves have a tendency to vanish after a certain number of years, and nobody knows exactly how long. And we don't know that this medium is going to last forever either, but if we keep up to date.
So should I transfer that?
If you have something to play it on and you're comfortable with that, that's okay, but I like a backup copy.
Okay.
So I would see if you could get somebody to transfer to a DVD for you.
Okay, thank you.
And make sure you label it.
Make sure I label it, all right. And date it, right.
Yep. Let's talk a little bit about your newspaper articles, and this actually is a whole section of the newspaper.
Yes.
I know you had different reasons why you might have saved an article or a paper.
Every paper. I have a trunk of every paper, so I probably have more than I needed.
Okay. Paper is interesting because you can see already that this is yellowed.
Yes.
So paper is made out of, this newspaper is made out of pulp, and the pulp has acids in it. And the acids will literally bleed through and destroy the paper and anything that touches it. So in the newspapers specifically, you want to keep away from your programs and your good papers. If you can put them flat or folded if need be in a paper folder, in a file, that would be the best thing. And sometimes I know you said that you saved certain things because it mentioned something different.
Yes.
So you might even note that on the folder title, why you might have saved something, because again, it gives a little more understanding, almost like a scrapbook. Why you save something, it's your annotations, it's your thought process. So having an understanding of why you save things is a good idea.
Okay.
We have these pins. You want to tell me where they're from?
Sure. Actually, I have lots of pins. This particular one is a responder pin from Suffolk County, and I have a lot of responder pins from a lot of the firehouses. And this is my Marcia McLennan pin from my husband's company that we were given on the memorial service that we had at St. Patrick's, and I wear that very often. And this particular pin is from a group called WCC Families for Proper Burial, and it's more of a political group that came out of the family's need to deal with the proper burial of the remains in fresh kills. And so that's what that pin is for, and I have many pins.
Well, one of the things that you could do to safeguard the pin, because you don't want the pin back to come apart from the pin, is to push it through a little piece of a paper, like a card,
Okay.
a cardstock, index card even, and then put it in an envelope with its identification. You know what each pin is for,
Yes.
but I certainly didn't.
And I know when I got them.
Exactly, but somebody coming to look at them in the future might say, why did this pin look this way and this pin look this way? If you can say who was the group that sponsored the pin, or when you received it, or something like that, it gives a little bit more story to the item, and then that makes it much more valuable as a document.
Okay.
You have both books and signed programs, and I know a lot of these books are autographed as well. You want to tell me a little bit about these?
Sure. Well, this particular book was written by a Japanese father who lost his son at the Trade Center, and he wrote a book of poetry in memory of his son. And I've met him several times through the years at the memorials, and this is a particular autograph copy for me and my work at the World Trade Center Family Center, but I do have my own copy as well, so I have several of these books. And actually I have almost every book about 9/11, so it's a whole collection. And then this particular program was from the World Trade Center Memorial that Nassau County created, and it's the Nassau County 9/11 Memorial. President Bush was there, and Governor Pataki, and Tom Swazi, our county executive, and Mayor Giuliani, and all of them signed the cover of our program. And actually I have a few of these because my kids were with me, so each one of us got one. And that is dated March 11th, 2004, and it has the list of all the victims from Nassau County.
This is something that is an historical document because it shows that they knew they needed to be there at the time. So it's got importance to you both as an item because it has a commemorative value, but it also shows the political necessity for these people to be there. So it's an important document. And this one, because somebody came all the way from Japan, I know you have other books as well. Having all of those books shows just sort of the breadth of your collection. Again, you might want to put these books in a book box and keep them probably either if you're still using them on your bookshelf or in your memento area, and this as well.
Okay.
While you're still looking at it and having it close to you, displaying it, that's fine. But when you go to put it away, having it in its own envelope and folder would be a good idea.
Okay, good. Thank you. This particular thing is literally a pillow that was made in memory of my husband specifically, and I put it in a far from an airtight bag, but so it was a young lady that knew one of my cousins, and they made this kind of tribute to my husband with pictures of the Trade Center and stickers about the United States and patriotic themes and eagle, and actually there's a picture of my husband here, and it just says a memory of Joel Miller, and it really has no value other than the fact that this young lady took the time to make this, and I think it's just special that she did it.
Right.
So
fabric items have some special care needed, as many of the other items do, but these kinds of bags, again, they're turned back into petroleum products, so you don't want to store your important documents or your fabric items in just plain old plastic bags. I understand the desire to keep them from moisture, but you probably would want a special archival bag that's made out of polypropylene or an inert plastic. If you do have something that you don't feel the attachment to, and you don't, it's a cumbersome size, or it's something that you want the memory of but not the actual physical item, you could photograph it and keep the photograph of it rather than the actual item.
Okay.
Thank you, Margie, for showing us all of these wonderful items. And for anybody who needs to know what to save and how to save it, visit the links on this website.